Welcome to the Network Build Grow podcast, the show where business owners, entrepreneurs, and professionals share their stories, lessons learned, and powerful strategies for building relationships and growing their circle of influence. With Melissa Taylor, your host, each week we'll bring you actionable insights to help you build a better network and a better business. Let's dive in.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Maria. How are you?
Good morning, Melissa. Doing great. I hope you are.
I am. It feels like I haven't been in the same actual room with you in forever.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. It has been a while. So thanks for being on today. Before we get started about good networking, why don't you tell us a little bit about ITEX? Because I'm assuming most people don't really know what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So ITEX is a small business network. It's all small business owners that connect through a group bartering platform. So it's an opportunity for business owners to maybe do business with people they had never known about before.
That's great. And I know that sometimes you explain it in a way that sometimes we might not have the cash to outlay for something that we need, but we can trade or barter our services. And that doesn't mean that like I need something from you and you need something from me, but I can actually, you can pay me for my services in the ITEX world. And then I can go buy ITEX services from somebody completely different in the ITEX world. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. So traditionally when people hear about bartering, they think of one-to-one bartering. You're going to have to want what I have to offer, and it's going to have to be the same value, and we're going to have to trust that each other does what we say we're going to do. And, sometimes that works okay, and sometimes it has its challenges. So our program is more of a group bartering platform where the business owners offer whatever it is that they do to other business owners. And instead of getting paid in a cash dollar, they get paid the exact equivalent in an ITEX dollar. And then now those dollars would be deposited into the online account at itex.com. And then the person who is receiving those dollars can then choose wherever it is that they want to use their dollars.
That's great. Wonderful. So thank you for explaining that to us. Now, I also know that a big part, because I'm a member of ITEX, but I'm also, tell me about the networking piece that you guys do, because that's just such a cool kind of, I don't even call it an add-on because it's really part of the whole thing, but tell me a little bit about that.
And that's what is a big part of the value with regard to our group. We are very heavily focused on networking and bringing people together and making introductions. And what ends up happening is we'll have a coffee meetup, maybe we'll have a lunch and learn, maybe we'll have an evening networking. And then people end up meeting one another and using one another, but they also start to form strategic partnerships or strategic alliances with one another. In that, if somebody is in the marketing field and they meet other people in the marketing field, then they might band together. I've got this one group in particular that I'm thinking of that has kind of joined forces, and then they'll go to other networking meetings talking about the things that they all do. They're all in complementary industries, but they're all helping the small business owner market. So ITEX is definitely great for meeting new business owners, opening up new doors, and marketing with other people.
Yeah, and I know for a fact that you can meet other ITEX members and they then introduce you to cash paying members.
Right. Absolutely. There's so many instances I could say. Sometimes I'll talk to people and they'll say, well, I like what you have to offer, but I need cash business. And who doesn't, right? But it's definitely an opportunity to do a great job for somebody and then see value in what that provider has done for you. And then what do you want to do? You want to pay it forward and let other people know about the value that you receive, not just other ITEX people, but other people in general. So we kind of call that a cash referral.
Yeah, a cash referral. That's great. So like I said, I've been an ITEX member for a long time and I've done some things for you, which is nice. I've done some events for you as a speaker. And so I have money in my ITEX account, and we actually then used it for personal uses. For instance, like having our windows cleaned or having some power washing done. So you don't just have to use it for business expenses. You can venture out. I think there's even vacations, like you can rent a house on the beach.
And that is the beauty of it. People don't understand or might not understand that it's not just for business. But I know even for us personally, we had a business owner join, and she has an Airbnb. And it was at a beach that I'd never even heard about before or been to. So we had the time, we took the trip, And now not only have we been there multiple times, we've brought other people, we've introduced other people, we've posted about it on our social media. So that business owner now has gotten cash business because of opening up her doors to ITEX members. So you can use it for elevating your lifestyle, for business, all different types of things.
That's great. All right, let's dive a little bit further into networking, because I know you are a big networker. It's how you cultivate relationships to bring people into the ITEX family.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about that. How do you use networking as a lead generation of building ITEX?
So networking is a huge part of what we do, and working with people that are open-minded, that are also looking for new business, that are open to hear about different ways of networking is definitely at the forefront. And networking has allowed us to bring that perspective, other business that they wouldn't have otherwise received. It's an opportunity to expand our warm network. It's an opportunity to help us grow, but it's also an opportunity to collectively work with the people that are in the networking group as well, to help bring them connections too. So I think sticking with a plan for networking, understanding who's going to be at your meeting, doing a little homework on who you might want to be introduced to or who you might seek out, and then follow up is a definite big part of it as well.
Okay, let's talk about that follow-up piece. How do you follow up? What's a really good way that you follow up?
So I'm really face-to-face, and I'm really about making connections and not so much about emailing or different things like that. So getting the buy-in, I guess you could say, from the person that I'm meeting at the meeting, that they're open to following up. And then at that time, asking them what is their best way of communication. And so finding out from them is key. So whether it's calling them or texting them or even emailing them, and then just getting something on the calendar and meeting for coffee, and just keeping it open, keeping it, light, and just seeing how we can help one another.
Yeah. How many times do you follow up with somebody before you just say, oh, this probably isn't a good fit? I mean, if you think it's a good fit, but they're just like not being responsive, how persistent are you?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I really think it depends on what we talked about there. But if it's somebody that's sort of a cold-ish lead that we didn't have a ton of connection with, I might follow up 2 or 3 times. And then after that, if they're not responding, then, there's plenty of other people to work with and help. So I'd say that's probably on average. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think 2 or 3 times is great. We teach 7 to 12 a lot of the times, but that's hard to do if you meet as many people as you meet.
True.
And if you're trying to do one-on-ones. But yeah, I think it's definitely something that everybody misses the boat on. They give up too fast.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that they do that. So tell me a little bit about some of the other groups. So yes, your group does have networking events,
Right.
but you also have to venture out
Yes.
into the wild. So how do you choose which events to go to, which groups to go to? Like, what's your kind of criteria for that?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to meet a lot of ITEX members who also participate in other local groups. And having those relationships with those members as sort of the fundamental base, and understanding that these are great people, these are awesome business partners. These people are also seeking, other quality groups. So we've been able to participate in a lot of local groups. Sometimes I'll see some things advertised on Facebook. So if I see something like that that's going on, or like an Eventbrite or something like that. But the biggest thing for me is something that's going to be convenient, that's going to work in my schedule, that is going to be something that I can commit to. So geographic definitely plays a big part. And making sure that going to the networking meetings, finding out if they work for you, and then determining how many times you're going to give it a go, right? And I know we've talked about this in the past too. Maybe 6 months to a year, see what you're getting out of it. And then at that point, determine, is it something you want to continue with? But I've had groups that I've been in that I've been a member of for 4 or 5 years now, and maybe even longer than that. And they're still providing the great value. But the other thing is too, you get out of it what you put into it. So it is definitely a two-way street.
Yeah, it is a two-way street, because you've been a member of Network Build Grow for like 5 years.
Yes.
And kind of goes in cycles. We see you a lot and then we don't see you a lot, and then we see you a lot and then we don't see you a lot. So I think that can be cyclical too inside groups.
I definitely agree. And that's just it. It's just planning those times that are going to work, whether they're going to be early morning or lunchtime. Those are really best for me. And being able to work those into the schedule. So, yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. So as you look at like the people that you meet, so you don't go just to meet prospects, you also go to meet good business alliances and other resources you think would be good for people inside your network.
Right.
Do you have like certain criteria for, this kind of sounds funny, but like who warrants a one-on-one with you and who's not going to get a one-on-one with you? Like, do you have any kind of criteria that you look at?
I feel like I'm very much a relationship person. So I really feel like I need to connect with the person that I'm talking to. So personality is important to me. It's not somebody that, would just be too aggressive, I guess. Just somebody that would be a good connection, personality wise, would be first. And then industry wise, to us, it's okay if you're a brand new business, and it's okay if you're a tenured business, because I feel like there's value in both, and there's resources that are needed in both, as well as people that may not even be a good fit for ITEX, people like bankers or people that deal with other small business owners that are kind of out there doing a lot of what we're doing as well are good connections for us too.
If you network for your business, you already know follow-up is everything when it comes to growing relationships and driving success. But here's the thing. Most of us want to follow up well. We just get stuck. Staying consistent, keeping it personal, making it stand out, it's hard. That's why I use NetEffect.io. It makes follow-up simple, cuts through all the noise, and helps me stay on top of every relationship without dropping the ball. I never miss a follow-up, and honestly, my network wouldn't be the same without it. So check it out, NetEffect.io. And right now, you can use promo code NBG50 for 50% off of your first month. NetEffect.io, your secret weapon to unforgettable follow-up.
Okay, let's do some rapid fire questions. So first thing that pops into your head, ready?
Okay, ready.
Okay, ready. What do you think people do inconsistent or even wrong when they introduce themselves at networking events?
Maybe they're not listening.
Okay. Okay, maybe they just don't listen to the other person. All right. Do you think that people should go for quantity or quality of people when they go to events?
Definitely quality.
Quality.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, and then another one. Where do you think, what aspect of following up do you think people kind of miss the mark on?
That's a good question, because I feel like follow-up is so individual and personalized. There might be some people that only read their email, people that never open their text messages. So it's really finding out from that person that you're in front of what the best way is to communicate. So maybe, like we talked about a moment ago, maybe giving up too soon is a downfall, and or just not finding the right way to connect with that person.
Yeah, using the multimedia. If they're not responding to your emails, try a text, try a voicemail.
Right.
Try a DM on whatever social media platform they seem to be the most active on.
Sure. And I know some people that will only do social media and that will never open up their email. So yeah, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, I know. And one of the ways that we do it is I might text somebody and say, hey, I sent you an email. Don't know if you saw it.
Yep.
And I usually get back, oh, I never check my email. What's up?
But that's personal, and that's connecting, and that just shows that, that person is so important to you that you took the time out to send them an individual message. So I'm definitely in favor of something like that.
Yeah, it makes such a difference. Okay, let's ask you another question here. All right. What advice would you give to somebody who is just starting into the networking world?
That it takes time, that it's not all about the quick relationships or the quick sales, I guess you could say. The relationship part of it does work. And consistency, continuing to show up, continuing to be authentic, bringing value, asking how you can help them, understanding what they do so that you can be a good connector.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second, because you are a great connector and you provide value to people that you meet. how do you organize all that? Is it all in your brain, or do you have like a database that you kind of like, oh, so-and-so said they needed this, let me look at my database, or is it just kind of all up there?
That is a funny question. I probably could use something more organized, but the great news about what we do is because we meet so many people on a regular basis, and we already have a great network of people that we work with every day, is there's definitely lots of people swimming up around here. But yes, we do have a database as well. And really just asking the people, like, what are the top 3 things on your wish list? What is it that who would you like to have a good connection with? Not that it has to go on forever, but something quick. And then immediately, for me, what's best is immediately making that connection, asking them, can I text you? Is it best to email you? How would you like to be introduced? I do think it's important that both parties need to be in on it. So if the landscaper is asking me for a photographer and we have a great photographer connection, then I'll say to the landscaper, I'm going to send you a group text introduction. That way I've done my part. He's agreed that, yes, I'm open for this. And then the photographer knows that everybody's, on board with really wanting this information. So immediate really works best for me. I do have some other electronic tricks, but yeah.
Yeah, the immediate is so important, because if I meet somebody and I tell them I'm going to introduce them to somebody and it takes me a week to do it,
right?
That's not good. Number one, I'll probably forget. And then, like you said, number 2, the immediate is we live in an instant gratification society. So we want to make that happen. All right. Last question, then I will let you go. What is the number one thing you say to start a conversation other than, so what do you do when you go to an event?
Tell me something about your business that I'd be surprised to know.
Oh, that is fun. Okay. So Maria, tell me something about your business that I would be surprised to know.
Oh, right back at me.
Right back at you.
I kind of came upon this business really organically because we lived it before we owned it. We were recipients of trade. We used trade. We loved it. Sometimes people love the idea of something and aren't really invested in it or haven't actually used it. So I think for us, it makes it all the more applicable and approachable because we actually lived it. And most people are like, oh, that's a great idea. I'll try it. But that's not.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right. So how can people get in touch with you if they want to find out more or just have a great conversation with you?
Right. Yes. So they can always call, text, or email us or go online. Texting or calling 704-965-7569. Email maria.stone@itex.net, or they can go to charlotte.itex.com. And there's a get started link, so we can reach out to them that way.
Okay. And we'll make sure that we put all of those links and everything in the show notes so that people can easily find it. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate you and everything you do.
Thanks.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Network Build Grow podcast. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur or professional. And of course, if you're not yet part of our community, visit networkbuildgrow.com to connect with us. Until next time, keep building and keep growing.